You
Oh
know,
my
one and
God, you're
two.
killing me, Shaq.
What up, everyone? Shakiel Mahjouri here for CBS Sports, and you know who this is. He leads Sean Strickland into battle against Dricus du Plessis in the main event of UFC 297 in Toronto on Saturday. You can't talk about MMA Coaches of the Year without mentioning this guy's name. Xtreme Couture's Eric Nicksick. How's it going, man?
What's up, Shaquille? How are you, brother? Good to see you again.
It's good to see you too, man. Where were you when he made that leap over the chair onto Dricus du Plessis, and what was going through your mind?
I was actually headed home from the event, and then um, the first thing I texted him, I said, "Did we win? did we win? How do we do?" And and then we kind of had a chuckle back and forth and whatever. And I get it, man. Like he's a fighter, bro. He's a dude. He's the guy that's gonna be, he's a meat eater. He's gonna be hopping on the chair. That's just the way he is. But and then there's a coaching element that I have to step in on and say, look, remember, this is what he wants from us. And the best example I could possibly give was the guy who fought that night. I said Leon Edwards was poked and there's some foul, heinous shit said about his dad.
Mm,
And you know what he did? He fought tactically and calculated and didn't let his emotions overrun the fight, because that would have taken him out of his element. That would have made him overthrow punches and fall into Kobe and be able to Kobe to easily initiate takedowns and do things. I said, so we're not this type of fighter. We're a tactical, type of fighter that I think that if you fight with emotion, that favors Dricus. He said, nope, you're right. You're absolutely right. Let's stay on our course. And that was that. So it was about a 2 day, little bit. But other than that, man, we were right back to square one.
well, I mean, that really dovetails nicely into one of the talking points, which is, Sean, and credit to him, has opened up on a few occasions about his early childhood. And I think in some ways, I hope it was therapeutic for him. I know a
Mm,
lot of people really, I think, sort of clicked with seeing sort of the root of who Sean is as a person, but that also invites a lot of criticism. People
sure.
saying there's a double standard, this and that, and I feel like it's really given this rivalry sort of an ugly promotional vehicle heading into it. How has Sean been able to sort of manage with all this newfound attention in a probably uncomfortable way? And as a coach, how do you sort of wrangle that energy into something productive?
He's really leaned on us. He's leaned on his team. He got a little emotional today after practice because it was his last spar at Extreme Couture. And the words that he said, only thing that really translates to me is that he has a family now. The way that he said it, and I don't want to give away what he said, but the just that I got was, I have a home. Thank you guys for giving me a home. And I think that's where a lot of people misunderstand, I guess, him for a lot of things, for lack of better words, is just, my job as a coach. And I talked to Luke Thomas about this on a personal level, and other people or colleagues of ours. My whole goal is to just give him a home first, and then try to help coach him after
Mm-hmm.
that. But we're not going to abandon him. We're not going to leave him. We're not going to kick him out. He has a place where he can be himself and be comfortable. And I think by doing so, it's allowed him that room to grow as a martial artist, and he's in the position he's at today because of the family that he has around him now.
But yeah, I think we talked about this last time, but I think based on how you've described Sean and his growth over the course, is he a finished product? No, or any of us? Not really. I think there's a lot to be taken out of sort of like leading with love and understanding and giving someone the opportunity to change as opposed to sort of constantly beating them down for what they're not.
Correct.
Yeah, I think that's a great mindset to have. Now, I ask with zero lead in for you here. Last time you told me a story about how you guys were discussing how Sean is the most likely person to cannibalize the rest of the team on a deserted island. People loved that clip. I'm like talking hundreds of thousands. So now that we've had some time since that, do you have any other out of pocket Sean stories you can tell me?
No, I mean, none that I really want to get
Fair.
into. I mean, I say this time and time again. Like, it's a South Park episode in here. Like, no one's safe. Like, any demographic, any person, anybody, and it comes from all angles. Like, we all just, you have to understand. You have to be in this gym to understand like our sense of humor and our love and our candor for one another. But it's also like, we just go at each other constantly in a fun, loving way. But it really does. It really toughens you up. And sometimes the things that you hear are the things you need to hear, like something that like Edmund Shabazian's been the butt of all the jokes and getting ripped on all the time because like we want to toughen him up. And that's just it. And I tell you, like I did an interview yesterday and somebody asked me who I think was going to shine in 2024. And I said Edmund Shabazian because the grittiness of what this gym has brought out of him, he's a goddamn killer right now. And it's like because we want him to be, right? Yep. So sometimes that tough love, I think, is what Sean Strickland brings to the gym and really brings to the rest of the training partners around in the room.
Is there a lot of like yelling head movement when Edmund's on the floor?
No, just tactical shit.
With every time I go on someone's Instagram, I see a photo of them with you. I was just looking at Magomed Ankalaev's ahead of his fight against Johnny Walker. As the sort of reputation of Xtreme Couture continues to build, how do you manage like who comes in, how much space, how much time you have to dedicate? Because you're getting a lot of high-profile people, some who train there full-time, some who want to just come and get some reps in. How do you sort of manage that logistically?
That's a good question, Shakiel. I think it's something that, like, over time, I would like to be better at. I've always just been an open doors guy, mainly because of Randy. Randy's always kind of instilled that in me. Like, there's no secrets in this game, and we can be an open door type of gym and share love and knowledge to one another. I remember like when Stephan Bonner fought Mark Coleman, they both trained in the same gym and they thought one should be kicked out and the other should be kicked out. And Randy's like, no, everybody gets to train. Tyson Griffin fought Evan Dunham. We both trained, all trained at Extreme Couture together. Hell, I remember when Randy fought Mark Coleman, he didn't care who he was even in here. So it's a very interesting dynamic, I think. But over time, we're probably gonna have to button up some of that stuff. But when it comes to guys like Ankalaev, he's been here with us, I mean, maybe over 6 camps now. We've had him here. But, that's Sukarov's guy. So Sukarov comes into town. He joins in the team practices. Sukarov will come in and show stuff and help wrestle and brings an element to that Dagestani style of MMA that we don't get to have. So for us, it's a privilege to have guys like Ankalaev and Sukarov in the gym at the highest level because it makes us all better as well. So I think there's that catch-22. If you stay closed off and not allow people in, then you don't really know what else is out there and learning how to grow and how to become better. So, for me, like Ankalaev's a teammate. He's an Extreme Couture guy. Whether he's in town or not, we're always going to be pulling for him. So welcoming him and his team is important to me.
Francis has his next fight announced. It's going to be against Anthony Joshua. What's the atmosphere like in the room once it's decided on that's going to be the fight compared to the Tyson Fury one?
Well, remember, like when this whole thing started to kick off, that was the big 3 that we always had in sights. That was the fight that I truly thought we would get first was Joshua. Thankfully, we got the Tyson Fury fight, and even more so that Francis performed the way that he did. So I think that really opened the doors even better for all these other fights to come down the line. So stylistically, I'm really looking forward to this fight because I think it's going to be more of a banger in the pocket. Whereas with Tyson, we had to deal with a lot of footwork and cutoffs and angles and things where, so Dewey and I are actually going to have lunch here in about an hour. We're going to sit down and, I get to pick Dewey's brain. Like, hey, what are you thinking here? What do you want to do with this? What do you want to do with that? Watch some tape on the guy and put some pen to paper and start formulating a game plan and an understanding of the approach and attack. But for me, I think Joshua's going to be there more. I think he's going to be, kind of more plotty in the pocket, and I think we'll be able to find him.
I'm so glad you mentioned Dewey. I remember, I think you actually engaged with the tweet, but there was so much adoration coming your way between Sean's win over Israel and then Francis's performance against Tyson Fury. And I just put it out there, guys, like all credit to Eric and his contributions short-term and long-term to Francis's development. But let's not overshadow how big of an influence Dewey Cooper was on all this. And that's something that you, at every chance I've seen you sort of reiterate. What for the people who still aren't in the know, like how much of that performance, how much praise does Dewey deserve for his contributions to what Francis showed against Tyson?
All of it, all of it. You know, I just posted a video a couple days
I
ago,
saw.
and I wanted people to know that meeting that we had, and I fought for our guy. I fought for Dewey in that meeting, and there's a little bit more to that. Francis did not want Dewey or didn't want me or didn't want anybody. It was just a meeting of the minds of the guys that matter the most: myself, Dewey, Markel, and Randy, and that was it. And it was like, hey, maybe I go to this coach, or maybe I do this, maybe I do that. I trust Dewey so much that I knew Dewey was capable of doing this job before any Dewey knew and I knew, and that's all that mattered. And I fought for him because I just know what he's capable of. I see his work ethic. I see how much he cares about his fighters and the people around him. And Dewey's not doing it to try to be famous or take the limelight. And I think in that moment where I'm going to get a lot of praise and credit just because of who I am with Francis, but I wanted people to understand the meat and potatoes of the work that was done that entire camp was Dewey's blood, sweat, and tears, man. Like his body took a fucking whooping that whole camp, man. And it would not feel right for people to say, hey, it's I have a grand scheme of everything that where Francis is at today. I have a part of, but in that 8-week period, Dewey was the meat and potatoes, man, and did a lot of that leg work. And the credit needs to go where it's deserved, and that's to my boy Dewey Cooper.
One thing that stood out from that clip you presented is that Dewey was very gracious in saying, like, we'll get Francis whoever Francis wants to be coached by. You want Freddie Roach? I'll call Freddie Roach. How was it ultimately decided that Dewey was going to be the primary trainer for Francis?
I don't even think Francis knew. Like, he was just kind of dragging his feet, like, you want one of these, like, I was telling him back in April, like before any of this stuff, we'll go wherever. I don't care. We'll go to Cuba, we'll go to LA, but let's start getting a vibe or let's start narrowing this down. If that's what you want, it's a boxing coach, right? Let's figure that out. And then over time, it was just back to the old guys. It was just me and Dewey. We go to Bones Adams, and every night after every practice, it was me and Dewey. So I think just by Francis is building his trust and knowing that Dewey and myself were quite capable of handling that camp. Then he brought on John from France, who was also a welcome addition because Francis had known him in the past. It all worked out very well for us, and I think it just formed a nice team, and that's all Francis needs. We just lean on his athleticism, and he leans on our expertise and our trust.
Dewey, I know it's sort of a promotional vehicle for the Fury fight, but are we going to see Iron Mike around at all for this one?
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, it was he really only did like 2 practices with us, but it was so dope. It was so crazy, like having Mike Tyson there. Like, the dude is super intense. There was things that, like, as a coach, like if I told Francis to do some of that shit, he'd be like, yeah, fuck off, I'm not doing that. But when it comes from Mike Tyson's like, you're doing 45 more sit-ups, and Francis like, yes sir, no problem. I'm like,
can't disappoint Mike.
No.
Hey, where do people cop the To the Death Sean Strickland shirt? I've been eyeing it the whole time.
Oh, I don't know. So this is funny. So Sean's manager Lance just gave me this, but my only issue with that, this is my saying. I want my royal. This is not Sean saying. This is my saying. When we ring the bell every pro practice, I say, all right, boys, to the death. And then you're going to put Sean's name on there? I want my royalties, SHAK. Where's my royalties on the shirt?
Well, you shouldn't be out here advertising stuff you're not getting a cut of. That's why I keep the
as long as it stays within the family, I'm happy.
I love it. Okay, last thing here before I let you go, and we finish up on some light stuff. As someone who does not have Luke's level of analysis, I can't help but sort of draw simple conclusions or predictions sometimes, like, is the secret out on Francis Ngannou? Joshua is going to be way better prepared than Tyson Fury is. These are some of the narratives you see kind of get thrown around. What do you make of that rhetoric that, no one's going to fall for that twice? Tyson Fury wasn't ready. Anthony Joshua is going to be prepared.
Please keep it up. Please keep it up. We love that shit. We love it. Tell us why we're not going to be able to do something. Tell us, please. And we're not going to sit there and try to tell you why we are going to do something. We're just going to go out. Don't tell me, show me. We're going to go out and prove it. right?
What?
The one thing, and Teddy Atlas will tell you, the one thing, the one equalizer that shuts all that up is power. Power, right? You can say all the shit you want until you get hit by that motherfucker. It changes outlook life, Shaq. It changes you, bro.
I
The
will
way that
stay
man
away
hits
from it.
you, it changes your whole outlook on why did I even get into this career? You ask yourself when Francis hits you. So, hey, whatever. Be prepared, be not prepared, say whatever. When we glove up and you're staring across the ring and you see that dude and he lands a punch on you, you're gonna question why the hell you're in there with this guy.
Eric cutting promos. I just wanted to stay out of that. Let you do your thing. Good. And I know it's authentic, but you really nailed the delivery there. What's the hardest you've ever been hit by, Francis?
We were doing a slip inside overhand. I've been hit by him too many times, but this one really stands out to me because it was last camp. We're working off of Tyson's jab. So Francis would jab and I would jab back and he would slip to the inside and throw his overhand. And I'll catch the overhand here on a big air mitt. And he punched me through my pad, into my own hand, into my own head, through the knuckle. And got kind of like wobbled me on that. And I remember like, oh, I got buzzed. Didn't think anything of it. The next day I woke up with the worst headache, and that was like a lot of reasons why I quit playing football was concussions. And I'm like, oh, I remember this feeling. I got a goddamn concussion, man. He punched me right through my head. So, but that's why you get paid the big bucks, man.
I was
like,
gonna say,
what
and
I mean?
if anything, it's what you were owed.
That's what you're owed. But remember, you're calculating for true range. True range off that slip. I want him to know where the target's at, right? If we're catching it here, if I'm trying to catch a baiter hook, I'll turn my hand to the inside and wrap that hook around or do whatever. But you want to try to catch it at true range, and unfortunately, your head is the target.
True
man.
range. I did forget to ask, so I probably should real quick. And I know we can't give away too much, but Dricus and Izzy, very different fighters. What are some of the dangers that Dricus du Plessis presents in this fight with Sean, and how do we neutralize him?
Oh man, he's good. He's good, and I think he's gotten a lot better. I think he's actually, from comparing him from when we fought him with Brad to now, I think he's starting to understand the reasons why he's doing certain things. He's understanding the setups. He's understanding the kind of the I guess the X's and O's better. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's always had it, but on tape, I a far more calculated and improvements on, especially out of his southpaw stance, his switch stance series. I know I see what he's doing. I like what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like, I take notes to some of the things that I think great fighters are doing. So credit goes to him and his camp. Those are some puzzle pieces that we've been working on and trying to figure out. I have kind of an idea of what his approach will be. And the nice thing about it is we have 5 rounds, 25 minutes to start diagnosing and collecting data and figuring that out. But I don't think that he gets enough credit for it's calculated chaos. It looks erratic. It looks like he doesn't know what he's doing, but he knows what he's doing, man. This guy is fighting for a world title for a very good reason.
Yeah, I think the Robert Whittaker fight opened a lot of eyes. I know we're over time. Can I have 2 minutes for some games?
Oh, ton, bro. Yeah, I got time.
Let's do it. Okay, so I've got some blind rankings here for you. The way this is going to work is I'm going to give you a name based on the category. You're going to rank that person 1 to 5. The challenge is you don't know what name is coming next. So you may need to sort of hedge your bets on where this whole thing is going. We'll start with an easy one.
All right.
Blind rank these UFC middleweights for me, okay? First, we have Khamzat Chimaev. Where are you putting him 1 to 5?
I'm gonna put him at 4.
Okay. Israel Adesanya.
I'm gonna put him at 2.
Brendan Allen.
Ooh, Brendan's good, man. Well, I got to put him at 5 now.
Yeah, this is the hard part. You know what? I'm content with how you're doing this so far. Where are we putting Dricus du Plessis? You got 1 and 3 open.
3.
I think you might have nailed this. You're number 1 by default, the UFC middleweight champ, Sean Strickland. Well done.
Right there.
It's all over the place. It's over there. It's over
there. We got
there.
another one. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. One more for you. All in good fun. Hopefully we don't offend anyone. Blind rank these MMA coaches, okay?
Sure.
First, you got Ray Longo.
Ray Longo. Oh, legend. Absolute
Legend.
legend.
Nicest guy.
Oh man. Let's put him at 4 right now. Just I don't know how this list is gonna go.
Okay, where are we putting David Goggins?
Oh, 5.
Saif Saud.
Who's carrying the boat? Who was it? Who was it again?
Saif Saud.
4. I'm moving Longo up to 3.
That's not how this works, Eric. You got
Fuck.
1, 2, and 3 open.
All right. Fuck. 3.
We mentioned him earlier, Edmund Tarverdyan.
Oh my
1 and
god,
2.
you're killing me, Shaq. God damn it.
It's the false sense of
2.
security there.
Oh man. Well, I would put Longo at 1 now.
Can't do it.
All right, 2.
Okay, well, you came in clutch. By default, your number 1 choice, Joshua Fabia.
Oh,
This,
no.
this is the
You
worst
throw
I've
me
ever
for
seen
a
anyone
loop
do.
giving me Longo. I'm like, okay, this is a list of legends, bro. List
Yes.
of legends.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I lulled you into a false sense of security.
Let's keep Longo, but let's talk legendary coaches.
Yeah,
Okay,
please give some love.
Ray Longo, right? He's got to be up there. Javier Mendez, he's got to be up there. Obviously Greg Jackson, right? In what Greg's done. I think probably one of the most underrated. I'm gonna give you 2 names that I feel that are underrated. They don't get enough love and shine. Parupa from ATT. That dude is constantly coaching and cornering winners. Danny Castillo from Alpha Male, constantly cornering, coaching winners. I think he's very underlooked this day and age. John Crouch, another like legend, very underlooked coach, I think, in the game, who just produces winner after winner. So and OGs, right? These guys are OGs of the game. I think they've been around the sport for a long time. Mark Montoya, Tyson Chartier, some amazing, amazing coaches in this game. And I think in 2023 that should get love and shine. Tim Welch, love and shine, right? What I love about Tim, I actually tweeted Tim this. He's got really one fighter, and he focuses on that one fighter. And I think it just shows the contrast between big gym coaches and what you're capable of doing with just putting all of your eggs in one basket and developing one piece of talent, which is Sean O'Malley, to a world champion. So, credit to those guys, man. They've had an incredible year, and some legends in the game too that, Henry Hooft, you got to say his name in there as well.
See, this is why I like talking to you. Even when I try and screw with you, you find a way to spread some positivity. Eric, I want to leave you with the last word. I'll do my part very quick. Guys, thanks so much for watching the video. Please subscribe, tap the bell, thumbs up, all that good stuff. Let me know, who do you think's going to end the year 2024 as UFC middleweight champion? I think Eric might have a opinion on that one. But we want to hear from you guys. Eric, ahead of Strickland versus Du Plessis, UFC 297 in Toronto. The floor is yours, man.
And still, let's go. Let's start this year off with a bang.